Hi, welcome to EPG Pathshala, Spanish. I'm Rajiv Saxena and I teach Spanish in the Center of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian and Latin American Studies in the Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi. We are in the paper entitled Intermediate Grammar, and today we are in the module where we're going to be talking about the Veb Chart-III, where we are limiting ourselves to the stem changing and spell changing verbs. I repeat, the stem changing and the spell changing verbs. The objective of this module is that you will have a list of useful verbs and their conjugations so that you can use them to improve your communication skills. These verbs will come very handy while speaking or writing or even reading in Spanish. However, we should remember that these verbs are not regular verbs, but some of them do follow a set pattern of change. So, even though they are not regular, you just have to look at the set pattern of changes and it will be easy to remember the stem changing and the spell changing verbs. So, in the following verbs that we are going to be discussing today, the third person pronouns singular and plural given are elia and elios, but you already know that there can be el, elia, usted for singular and elios, elias and ustedes for plural pronouns in the same place. So just keep it in mind when you're doing the tables. So let's talk about the present tense of some stem changing verbs. The present tense of some stem changing verbs. The first verb that I would like to pick up today would be almorzar, which is an AR ending verb and it means to have lunch or to eat in the afternoon. Yo almuerzo, tú almuerzas, él, ella, usted almuerza, nosotros almorzamos, vosotros almorzáis, and ellos, ellas and ustedes almuerzan. I repeat, almuerzo, almuerzas, almuerza, almorzamos, almorzáis, and almuerzan. Cerrar also is a stem changing verb and it is an AR ending verb which means to close. So the conjugation of this stem changing verb would be yo cierro, tú cierras, él, ella, usted cierra, nosotros cerramos, vosotros cerráis o vosotras cerráis, and ellos, ellas and ustedes cierran. I repeat, cierro, cierra, cierra, cerramos, cerráis and cierran. It becomes very simple once you know how these verbs are being followed. Again, we would like to talk about another verb like comenzar. So, the stem changing verb comenzar is conjugated as comienzo, comienzas, comienza, comenzamos, comenzáis and comienzan. I repeat, yo comienzo, tú comienzas, él, ella, usted comienza, nosotros comenzamos, vosotros comenzáis and ellos, ellas and ustedes comienzan. Another verb that I would like to talk about today, which is another stem changing verb, is confesar, which means to confess. So the conjugation is yo confieso, tú confiesas, él, ella, usted confiesa, nosotros confesamos, vosotros confesáis, and ellos, ellas and ustedes confiesan. Confieso, confiesas, confiesa, confesamos, confesáis and confiesan. Another verb which is important and it is a stem changing verb is contar. Yo cuento, tú cuentas, él, ella, usted cuenta, nosotros contamos, vosotros contáis and ellos, ellas and ustedes cuentan. I repeat, cuento, cuentas, cuenta, contamos, contáis and cuentan. Another verb that we should talk about today is costar, to cost, how much it costs. So the conjugation of costar would be yo cuesto, tú cuestas, él, ella, usted cuesta, nosotros costamos, vosotros costáis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes cuestan. However, keep it in mind that we are talking about a price. So, the use of costar is usually only cuesta or cuestan. ¿Cuánto cuesta este bolígrafo? And ¿cuánto cuestan estas camisas? Because you are talking about a third person singular or plural thing, because you are either going to be buying one thing or many things. So usually costar is as cuánto cuesta and cuánto cuestan instead of the entire conjugation table that I've told you right now. Another verb that I would like to be talking about is the verb defender, which is to defend, and it is also a stem changing verb. So the conjugation of defender would be defiendo, defiendes, defiende, defendemos, defendéis, and defienden. I repeat, yo defiendo, tú defiendes, él, ella, usted defiende, nosotros defendemos, vosotros defendéis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes defienden. Another verb that we should learn in the irregular or the stem changing verbs would be devolver, to return. Yo devuelvo, tú devuelves, él, ella, usted devuelve, nosotros devolvemos, vosotros devolvéis, ellos, ellas, and ustedes devuelven. I repeat, devuelvo, devuelves, devuelve, devolvemos, devolvéis, and devuelven for the verb devolver, which means to return. Another verb which we are going to talk about today is dormir, which is also, as we have said, is a stem changing verb. So where does the stem change? The O becomes UE and it becomes duermo, duermes, duerme, dormimos, dormís, and duermen. I repeat, yo duermo, tú duermes, él, ella, usted duerme, nosotros dormimos, vosotros dormís, ellos, ellas, and ustedes duermen. So it becomes very easy because it is following a very set pattern. In the same sense, EMPEZAR also has a set pattern because all that happens is the stem changes. From EMPEZAR it becomes empiezo. So yo empiezo, tú empiezas, él, ella, usted empieza, nosotros empezamos, vosotros empezáis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes empiezan. I repeat, empiezo, empiezas, empieza, empezamos, empezáis, and empiezan. Another verb that we should discuss over here today is encontrar, to meet or to find. Yo encuentro, tú encuentras, él, ella, usted encuentra, nosotros encontramos, vosotros encontráis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes encuentran. I repeat, encuentro, encuentras, encuentra, encontramos, encontráis, and encuentran. Another verb that we should talk about today is entender. So it should be yo entiendo, tú entiendes, él, ella, usted entiende, nosotros entendemos, vosotros entendéis, ellos, ellas, and ustedes entienden. So the conjugation is entiendo, entiendes, entiende, entendemos, entendéis, and entienden. Another verb which is a stem changing verb is jugar. Jugar is also a very important verb, and jugar means to play. So the conjugation of jugar is yo juego, tú juegas, él, ella, usted juega, nosotros jugamos, vosotros jugáis, ellos, ellas, and ustedes juegan. Juego, juegas, juega, jugamos, jugáis, and juegan. It's very simple. So all you have to do is to learn it and then you can go ahead and practice and then go ahead and do the exercises which are there and better your Spanish. Another verb that I would like to talk about today is medir or to measure. Yo mido, tú mides, ella, usted mide, nosotros medimos, vosotros medís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes miden. As you can see, this is not a stem changing verb, but it is a spelling changing verb because the E changes into I. So the A turns into E, like medir becomes mido, mides, mide, medimos, medis, and miden. So it is very simple. Another verb that we should talk about today is morir. So morir is also of the stem changing verb category. The conjugation of morir becomes yo muero, tú mueres, ella, usted muere, nosotros morimos, vosotros morís, and ellos, ellas, ustedes mueren. I repeat, the conjugation of morir, to die, is muero, mueres, muere, morimos, morís, and mueren. Another verb that we should talk about today is mostrar, to show. Yo muestro, tú muestras, ella, usted muestra, nosotros mostramos, vosotros mostráis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes muestran. So the stem changing verb mostrar, the stem changes instead of O to UE, which is yo muestro, tú muestras, ella, usted muestra, nosotros mostramos, vosotros mostráis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes muestran. As you can see, we are following a set pattern in all these verbs. Another verb that we should talk about today is the verb pedir. So, for example, pedir means to ask for, and the conjugation of pedir is yo pido, tú pides, ella, usted pide, nosotros pedimos, vosotros pedís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes piden. So, like medir, which we have done, it is mido, mides, mide. Pedir becomes pido, pides, pide. Pedimos, pedís, and piden. All you have to do is to remember that this is not a stem changing verb, but it is a spell changing verb. So the spelling changes from ed to id. Pido, pides, pide, pedimos, pedís, and piden. It's as simple. So by this you already know two verbs, medir and pedir. Now let us move on to another verb, which is pensar, which is again a stem changing verb. Pensar becomes yo pienso, tú piensas, ella, usted piensa, nosotros pensamos, vosotros pensáis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes piensan. I repeat, pienso, piensas, piensa, pensamos, pensáis, and piensan. Another verb which is a stem changing verb is perder. Yo pierdo, tú pierdes, ella, usted pierde, nosotros perdemos, vosotros perdéis, and ellos, ellas, ustedes pierden. I repeat, perder is to lose, and the conjugation is pierdo, pierdes, pierde, perdemos, perdéis, and pierden. Only the stem has changed to IE, and again the rest remains the same. Pierdo, pierdes, pierde, perdemos, perdéis, and pierden. What do we do with a verb like poder? I can, I am able. The conjugation of poder is yo puedo, tú puedes, ella, usted puede, nosotros podemos, vosotros podéis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes pueden. I repeat, poder, the conjugation is puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, podéis, and pueden. So it becomes very easy because all you have to do is to remember the pattern that the verb is following, and all you have to do is to make the stem change or make the spell change. In this case, it is a stem change, so we do puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, podéis, and pueden. Again, in a verb like preferir, how do we do about conjugating preferir? Preferir is also a stem changing verb. So, we change the stem to prefiero and it becomes a conjugation of the verb preferir. So, it is yo prefiero, tú prefieres, ella, usted prefiere, nosotros preferimos, vosotros preferís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes prefieren. I repeat, prefiero, prefieres, prefiere, preferimos, preferís, and prefieren. What do we do with a verb like querer, which is also a very important verb? Querer means to like. So, how do we conjugate querer, which is a stem changing verb? All we have to do is to change the spelling of the stem to quir and it becomes the conjugation. So, yo quiero, tú quieres, ella, usted quiere, nosotros queremos, vosotros queréis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes quieren. I repeat, quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, queréis, and quieren. And there you have the conjugation of the verb querer. Another verb which is also important is recordar. So, for recordar, how do we conjugate the verb? We conjugate the verb recordar by saying yo recuerdo, tú recuerdas, ella, usted recuerda, nosotros recordamos, vosotros recordáis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes recuerdan. I repeat, recuerdo, recuerdas, recuerda, recordamos, recordáis, and recuerdan. So, by doing this, you can learn and go ahead by practicing all the verbs that we have given over here, and it is very easy for you to learn how to conjugate the verbs. Another verb that we are going to be talking about today is the verb referir. So, the verb referir is conjugated as refiero, refieres, refiere, referimos, referís, and refieren. I repeat, yo refiero, tú refieres, ella, usted refiere, nosotros referimos, vosotros referís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes refieren. Refiero, refieres, refiere, referimos, referís, refieren. Once you practice it, it becomes as quick and as fast as this. Refiero, refieres, refiere, referimos, refieres, referim. Again, another important verb, which is a stem changing verb in Spanish, is repetir. This is not a stem changing but is a spell changing verb because petir becomes P. So it is yo repito, tú repites, ella, usted repite, nosotros repetimos, vosotros repetís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes repiten. Repito, repites, repite, repetimos, repetís, and repiten. Another verb that we would like to discuss today is resolver. So, resolver is also of the stem changing classification of verbs. The resolver becomes suelvo. So, it is yo resuelvo, tú resuelves, ella, usted resuelve, nosotros resolvemos, vosotros resolvéis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes resuelven. Resuelvo, resuelves, resuelve, resolvemos, resolvéis, and resuelven. Another verb which is an important verb and it is a stem changing verb is the verb sentir. So the verb sentir is conjugated as yo siento, tú sientes, ella, usted siente, nosotros sentimos, vosotros sentís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes sienten. Siento, sientes, siente, sentimos, sentís, and sienten. Another verb which is important is servir. Sirvo, sirves, sirve, servimos, servís, and sirven. So the conjugation of servir to serve is yo sirvo, tú sirves, ella, usted sirve, nosotros servimos, vosotros servís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes sirven. Another verb which is important in Spanish is sonar. So it is also a stem changing verb. The O changes to UE. Yo sueño, tú sueñas, él, ella, usted sueña, nosotros sonamos, vosotros sonáis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes sueñan. I repeat, sueño, sueñas, sueña, sonamos, sonáis, and sueñan. Another verb is volar, to fly. This is also a stem changing verb and the O becomes UE. So it is vuelo, yo vuelo, tú vuelas, él, ella, usted vuela, nosotros volamos, vosotros voláis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes vuelan. Vuelo, vuelas, vuela, volamos, voláis, and vuelan. Another verb which is also a very important verb and it is also a stem changing verb is volver, to return. We've already seen devolver, which is to return, and volver means to return back. So volver is also conjugated in the same way as devolver. So it becomes yo vuelvo, tú vuelves, él, ella, usted vuelve, nosotros volvemos, vosotros volvéis, and ellos, ellas, ustedes vuelven. So the conjugation is vuelvo, vuelves, vuelve, volvemos, volvéis, and vuelven. Another verb that I would like to discuss today is changing quite a bit its stem, which is the verb caber. So the conjugation of the verb caber would be yo quepo, tú cabes, él, ella, usted cabe, nosotros cabemos, vosotros cabéis, and ellos, ellas, ustedes caben. I repeat, quepo, cabes, cabe, cabemos, cabéis, and caben. Another verb that we should discuss is caerse, which is to fall or oneself falls. So it is yo me caigo, tú te caes, él, ella, usted se cae, nosotros nos caemos, vosotros os caéis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes se caen. Another verb which I would like to discuss today is conducir, which is to drive. So, yo conduzco, tú conduces, él, ella, usted conduce, nosotros conducimos, vosotros conducís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes conducen. Please take a printout from the e-text part and please pay attention that the first conjugation is conduzco with a ZCO. So the conjugation of conducir to drive is conduzco, conduces, conduce, conducimos, conducís, and conducen. Another verb which is following the same pattern as conducir is conocer. This also changes the ser to ZCO. So it is yo conozco, tú conoces, él, ella, usted conoce, nosotros conocemos, vosotros conocéis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes conocen. Another verb that we should talk about today is conseguir, to get. So the conjugation of the verb conseguir, which is a stem changing verb, is yo consigo, tú consigues, él, ella, usted consigue, nosotros conseguimos, vosotros conseguís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes consiguen. What do we do with a verb like desaparecer, which is to disappear? I'll do the conjugation of desaparecer by following the rule that parecer changes into parezco. Yo desaparezco, tú desapareces, él, ella, usted desaparece, nosotros desaparecemos, vosotros desaparecéis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes desaparecen. That we should talk about is dirigir. Yo dirijo. Tú diriges. Él, ella, usted dirige. Nosotros dirigimos. Vosotros dirigís. And ellos, ellas, and ustedes dirigen. I repeat. Dirijo, diriges, dirige, dirigimos, dirigís, and dirigen. How do we do the conjugation of a verb like distinguir? So, distinguir also is a spell changing verb, and the spelling changes to, for example, yo distingo, tú distingues, él, ella, usted distingue, nosotros distinguimos, vosotros distinguís, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes distinguen. I repeat, distingo, distingues, distingue, distinguimos, distinguís, and distinguen. How do we do the conjugation of a verb, for example, like escoger, which is to catch? We do the conjugation of the verb by the following manner. Escojo, escoges, escoge, escogemos, escogéis, and escogen. I repeat, yo escojo, tú escoges, él, ella, usted escoge, nosotros escogemos, vosotros escogéis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes escogen. How do we do the conjugation of a verb like establecer? Yo establezco, tú estableces, él, ella, usted establece, nosotros establecemos, vosotros establecéis, and ellos, ellas, and ustedes establecen. So, to conclude, we would like to say that Spanish verbs are a lot of fun to learn because they follow a set pattern of endings. We will be having a look at different verbs and their different patterns in the coming modules, but in the meanwhile, please take out a printout, have a look at all these verbs, memorize them, and then go ahead with the exercises given in the self-assessment section of this module. And you will have a wonderful time and you will learn and pick up and communicate much better in Spanish. Muchas gracias.